What's good, YouTube? Jen back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the male body standard for peak attractiveness. Now, when we think of attractiveness, we're trying to attract something. So you have to think of, when you break down attraction, you have to have a goal in mind, right? So the goal is to attract a certain type of woman, right? So when you think of attraction, you have to think of what a woman would find attractive, not necessarily what guys find attractive, right? A lot of times when guys talk about attraction, they're thinking about, male gaze, which is something that guys find attractive. Something that's male gaze will be bodybuilders, like the big bodybuilders. You think of the Ronnie Colemans, Jay Cutlers. This is something that women do not find attractive, but guys find attractive. Or they don't necessarily find it attractive, but they find it appealing. They find as much muscle as humanly possible appealing. This is not the same. This is not the case for women. Women don't really find too much muscle appealing, right? So the ideal body type for peak attractiveness is lean muscle mass, not too big, but big enough to where you look like you work out. You look like you take care of yourself, but you don't look like you live in the gym. You look like you have a life outside of the gym. It looks like you can do activities that doesn't revolve around the gym and fitness. So I'm about to give you some examples of the ideal body type you should strive for. So the first person we're gonna look at goes by the name of Ttyin Unorz on Instagram, right? This guy has perfect shoulder to waist ratio. He's big, but he's not too big, right? This is a perfect example of what I mean. Clearly looks like he works out, but he doesn't look weird in clothes, right? He looks good in clothes. The problem with being too big is, I've never seen a bodybuilder that looks good in normal clothes. I've never seen a bodybuilder that looks good in a suit ever, right? You just look weird, right? When you wear a suit, it should make you look better. It should enhance your physique, not take away from it. This is a perfect example of someone who understands how to make himself more attractive, right? He has a good lean physique and he knows how to show it off in a way that's attractive. Every single person that I'm going to talk about does a good job of displaying their physique, does a good job of displaying sex appeal, right? These are guys who understand what women find attractive. If you look in their comment sections, you will see a bunch of comments from women, right? That's the difference. Like the bodybuilders get a bunch of comments from men. These guys get a bunch of comments from women because this is what women find attractive versus something that guys find attractive. The next person we're going to talk about is Dunham. Austin is another example of what it means to have a good amount of muscle, but not being too big. He displays himself more in an attractive way, right? This is another good example, that good shoulder to waist ratio. Now, his shoulder to waist ratio isn't as perfect as the last guy we just watched, but he still has that good V taper. That's what you want. You want that small waist, wide shoulders. If you want that V taper, you have to be lean. Like the more body fat you have, the bigger your waist becomes, right? And it takes away from your attractiveness. You want to build that angularity, right? When you think of aesthetics, when I think of aesthetics, I think of, creating shapes, right? Shoulder to waist ratio, that taper is what you want. This is a guy who understands attractiveness and knows how to display himself in the most attractive way in order to attract the type of women that he wants. In order to attract women, he understands this is what women find attractive versus what guys find attractive, right? This is what we're talking about. Male gaze versus female gaze, right? You want to appeal, when we talk about attraction, you want to appeal to the female gaze, not necessarily the male gaze. The male gaze looks cool. It looks cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love it too. I think it looks cool. A lot of times I'm like, I want to be bigger, but it's like, I don't want to take away from my attractiveness. I still want to maintain a lean aesthetic physique. Because at the end of the day, I know most people do not want to be bodybuilders. Most people have normal lives. Most people don't want to spend all their time in the gym. Most people do not want to make the gym their entire personality, right? This is why I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this, this is for the guys who want to make themselves the most attractive version without spending their entire life in the gym. Right? Yeah, we're going to go to the gym every day. We're going to work on ourselves every day. But our whole entire personality is not going to be about the gym. Never find me saying, oh, I can't go here because of my diet. You're not going to find me saying I can't travel because I'm about to compete. You're not going to find me saying I can't do a certain thing because I'm trying to maintain my physique. I understand how to maintain my physique while also living life. And the next person we're going to look at goes by the name of Aaron Legend on Instagram. This is another example of that V taper. However, he has a lot more muscle mass. So it's not, You could still have a lot of muscle and still have that attractive sex appeal. He has a really solid muscle base, right? He has a lot of muscle, but he still maintains that sex appeal, right? He's big, but he doesn't look like he's too big. This is a great example of a guy with more muscle mass, but also maintaining that level of sex appeal. When he wears a suit, when he wears clothes, he doesn't look weird in clothes, right? The bigger you get, you start to kind of look a little bit weird in clothes. Right. But it also does take a lot. Like, it takes a long time to be that big anyway. Most people would never be that big. So it's not really something that you have to worry about. And the last person we're going to go over. Now, this person, he has the smallest physique out of all the examples I just showed you. But the girls go crazy for him. His name is Jeremy Allen White. Right. He just did a Calvin Klein commercial and girls are going crazy. Right. He has a physique that's lean, but doesn't have that much muscle mass, right? He looks like he works out. He looks like he takes care of himself, but he doesn't look like, he looks like he might go to the gym a couple times a week, right? He has a good level of muscle mass, but he's not overly big. This physique is obtainable within a year or two, right? With consistent dieting, consistent training, you can obtain this physique in a year or two. He has a decent level of muscle mass, but he's extremely lean. Right, he has that great lean physique, that V taper I was talking about, and he shows himself off in an attractive way. Right, this is why this video got so much attention. He got so much attention from this video. You don't have to be a bodybuilder in order to make yourself the most attractive version of yourself. Like, you don't have to. Most people do not want to be a bodybuilder, and I don't blame you. Right, you want to make yourself the most attractive version to your target audience. I want you guys to be able to attract the type of woman you want. I want the type of woman that you want to also find you attractive, right? This is extremely important, and for some reason it's very overlooked. It's not talked about enough. Most people don't work out. The reason why I push working out so much is because it's necessary. It's necessary. What's the point of having a girl that doesn't find you attractive? Like, how does that make sense? How does that make you feel, bro? It's not as difficult as you think. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. It's just going to take a little bit of work. If you don't know what you're doing, I want you to DM me the word attract on Instagram. This is my Instagram. DM me the word attract, and maybe we can work together. Maybe I can help you out. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. The things I want for myself are the same things I want for you guys.